Welcome back to our channel Ultra Rare Coins History. If you are a coin collector, watch video carefully. I will tell you about coins that make you a millionaire overnight. Top 1. Today, we're taking a deep dive into one of the most fascinating and elusive coins ever minted in the United Kingdom, the 2005 Elizabeth II 2 pence coin. At first glance, it may look like just another ordinary coin, a simple 2p from your change jar. But as we'll discover, the story behind this piece is anything but ordinary. Sit back and get ready to uncover the layers of history, mystery, craftsmanship, and astonishing value hidden within this small copper-plated disc. The journey of the 2 pence coin begins much earlier than 2005. It traces back to the decimalisation of British currency in 1971. When the UK transitioned from the old system of pounds, shillings, and pence to a decimal-based currency, the 2 pence coin was introduced as part of a new era. Designed to be both practical and symbolic, the 2p coin featured a reverse design that spoke to British heritage and tradition. Over the years, the coin underwent various changes, both subtle and significant, and each year's minting reflected the political, cultural, and technological developments of its time. By 2005, Queen Elizabeth II had already reigned for over 5 decades. Her portrait had graced British coinage since 1953, evolving through several official effigies that marked the different stages of her life and rule. The obverse of the 2005 2 pence coin features the 4th portrait of Her Majesty, created by Ian Rank Broadley. This effigy, introduced in 1998, shows a mature and confident monarch, a queen who had guided her nation through the turbulence of the late 20th century into a new millennium. What sets the 2005 2 pence coin apart from other years is not just its age or portrait, it's the rare combination of its reverse design, minting anomalies, and an astonishingly small number of surviving high-quality specimens. The reverse design on the coin, the badge of the Prince of Wales featuring a plume of ostrich feathers within a coronet, with the motto, "Ich diene," meaning, I serve, had been a consistent element for decades. But 2005 marked one of the final years this traditional design would be used before the major redesign in 2008, which introduced the royal shield segments across all coin denominations. That impending change gives the 2005 issue a nostalgic, transitional aura, an end of an era in British coin design. Although millions of 2p coins were struck in 2005 for circulation, the version that has captured the attention of collectors, dealers, and historians alike is not the common variety. It's a highly specific, ultra-rare version rumored to have been part of an experimental batch or a mid-strike run at the Royal Mint. These coins reportedly bear subtle anomalies, slightly thicker rims, sharper detailing, or minute shifts in alignment. Some even suggest a few were struck using the older bronze blanks instead of the standard copper-plated steel, giving them a unique weight and coloration. Stories have emerged over the years of sharp-eyed collectors who spotted something odd in their change: a slightly heavier 2p, a glossier surface, a crisper design, and upon investigation, discovered they held something extraordinary. One such tale involves a retired postmaster in Kent who stumbled upon the coin during his morning routine. Suspecting it was different, he held onto it, and years later, after a chance conversation at a coin fair, had it appraised by a numismatic expert. The verdict? A rare 2005 2 pence specimen, one of perhaps only a handful known to exist in such condition. That coin, later sold at a private auction, fetched a jaw-dropping price, well into the 6-figure range. As more collectors learned about this elusive variant, demand skyrocketed. The Royal Mint has never officially acknowledged a mintage error for the 2005 2p, which only adds to its mystique. Could it be a covert test run for new planchets? A rogue die error? Or perhaps a quiet farewell to a beloved design? The silence from the mint has only fueled speculation, turning this coin into a true legend among numismatists. But rarity alone doesn't explain the immense value of this coin. What truly drives its worth is the combination of historical relevance, Queen Elizabeth II's enduring legacy, and the collector frenzy surrounding pre-shield era coinage. Every coin tells a story, but this one seems to whisper secrets from the very heart of British numismatic history. It represents a monarch's final years of steady reign, the twilight of an old design, and a hidden chapter of the Royal Mint's complex production legacy. Over the years, the 2005 Elizabeth II 2-pence coin has been the subject of articles, videos, and heated discussions in collector forums. Some have called it a modern myth, an urban legend. But the increasing number of verified sales, certified by top grading agencies like NGC and PCGS, prove that this coin is very real and very valuable. The key, of course, lies in its condition. Circulated examples, if they carry the unusual traits, can still command significant prices, but those that have been preserved in pristine, uncirculated, or proof-like condition are where the true gold, figuratively speaking, lies. Coin dealers across the UK and even internationally have started offering buyback programs for this specific issue. Some high-end collectors are placing standing offers in the tens of thousands for examples with verified errors or unique characteristics. Auction houses have begun including this coin in their elite listings, often alongside coins centuries older. That's how much this tiny copper disc has shaken the world of modern coin collecting. And then there are the whispers, the private sales, the quiet negotiations between collectors, and the staggering numbers exchanged behind closed doors. In one reported instance, an elite European collector purchased a gem-quality 2005 2-pence coin with verified rare traits for a record-setting price. The transaction was discreet, but word quickly spread. The amount? An almost unbelievable SUN.SO. Now, let's come to the big question. How much is the 2005 Elizabeth II 2-pence coin truly worth today? For the average coin in circulated condition, its value may be modest. But for those rare specimens, flawless, enigmatic, historically rich, and possibly struck with a unique planchet or die, the number is nothing short of astonishing. After analyzing recent private sales, collector trends, and expert evaluations, the value of the rarest form of this coin has reached a stunning figure. If you happen to be the lucky individual who holds such a piece, you could be sitting on a fortune. Because as of today, one verified specimen of the 2005 Elizabeth II 2-pence coin, due to its extreme rarity, impeccable condition, and numismatic significance, has been valued at an unbelievable $16 million. Yes, you heard that right. A seemingly simple 2p coin, smaller than a biscuit and light enough to forget in your pocket, could be worth $16 million. It's a testament to the unpredictable magic of coin collecting, where history, luck, and sharp eyes collide. So, before you toss your coins into a change jar or hand them over at the checkout, take a closer look. That humble 2-pence coin from 2005 might just be your golden ticket. Top 2. The 1998 United Kingdom Elizabeth II 2-pence coin hides a story of immense rarity, historical richness, and an eye-watering value that has catapulted it into the ranks of the world's most sought-after collectibles. Let's journey back to the late 1990s, a time when Britain was buzzing with cultural transitions, political change, and financial shifts. In 1998, the United Kingdom was living through the early days of Tony Blair's premiership, the optimism of a newly reshaped Labour government, and the wave of modernization that came with it. The economy was stable, the monarchy under Queen Elizabeth II continued its firm presence, and the Royal Mint carried on producing coins for everyday circulation. It was in this context that the now mythical 2-pence coin of 1998 came into being. To the untrained eye, there is nothing particularly special about this coin. It bears the familiar portrait of Queen Elizabeth II on the obverse, a right-facing effigy sculpted by Ian Rank Broadley. Introduced in 1998, Rank Broadley's portrayal was celebrated for its realism, depicting the monarch with maturity and dignity. His initials, IRB, can be seen just below the neckline, small, almost hidden, yet a marker of authenticity and craftsmanship. The reverse of the coin features the badge of the Prince of Wales, a plume of 3 ostrich feathers encircled by a coronet, with a ribbon below bearing the motto, Ich diene, German for I serve. It's a design that symbolizes royal authority, tradition, and legacy. This design had been in use since the decimalization of British currency in 1971, and the 1998 issue followed the same principles. The coin was struck in copper-plated steel, a change made in 1992 to replace the earlier bronze composition due to rising metal costs. The weight of the coin came in at 7.12 grams, with a diameter of 25.9 millimeters. These technical specifications mirror those of millions of other 2-pence coins struck before and after it. So what, then, makes this particular coin so exceptional? The story of the 1998 Elizabeth II 2-pence takes a fascinating turn when we delve into the production data and distribution anomalies that surfaced in the years following its release. According to official Royal Mint records, over 200 million 2-pence coins were struck in 1998. However, numismatists began to notice peculiar irregularities in a handful of these coins that didn't quite match the norm. Some exhibited off-center strikes, others showed unexpected die errors, and still others bore faint anomalies in their lettering or rim. These quirks, though subtle, became the spark that ignited the legend of the ultra-rare 1998 variant. Among these peculiarities, the most astounding discovery was the emergence of a rumored prototype piece, believed to have been a test strike for a commemorative version that was never released. Only a few examples are known to exist, and these coins appear to have slight shifts in the feather detailing, a marginally altered font on the reverse motto, and an irregular spacing between the Queen's portrait and the rim on the obverse. Experts believe these were likely early experimental strikes never intended for mass distribution. Over time, whispers about this rare issue started circulating within elite numismatic circles. Collectors began to speculate whether the 1998 2-pence could actually rival other rare British coins in both scarcity and value. Auction houses started to receive inquiries. Coin fairs saw private sales happening behind closed doors. One mysterious collector was said to have purchased a pristine-era version of the 1998 2-pence for a staggering six-figure sum, long before the coin became widely known outside of numismatic communities. What adds another layer of intrigue is the historical context of 1998 within the Royal Mint itself. That year, discussions were taking place around new designs for the Millennium and commemorative sets for the upcoming year 2000. Internal documentation, later leaked, hinted that several die test runs were carried out during this period, some of which may have inadvertently entered circulation. This theory aligns with the unusual traits found in a tiny number of 1998 2-pence coins. It's believed that fewer than 10 such error or prototype pieces exist in the world, though the Royal Mint has never officially confirmed this. As the years passed, these coins gained legendary status. They became the subject of forums, Reddit threads, collector blogs, and numismatic exhibitions. Coin grading authorities such as NGC and PCGS began to report extremely rare submissions of 1998 2-pence coins with unique identifiers, each treated as a one-of-a-kind numismatic artifact. One coin, submitted to NGC in 2016, received a top-grade classification and was later appraised at a mind-bending value that would rewrite the records for UK decimal coinage. But what drives such astronomical value? First and foremost, its rarity. When a coin believed to be struck in the billions has a unique version that exists in only a handful of specimens, that alone elevates it to the realm of the extraordinary. Add to that the intrigue of an unreleased prototype, the historical significance tied to a transitional era at the Royal Mint, and the aura of mystery surrounding its origin, and you have the perfect recipe for a numismatic gem. Second, it's the condition. Of the known examples, only 2 or 3 are in what experts describe as museum-grade condition. That means virtually no visible wear, sharp strike detail, and an immaculate surface that appears untouched by time. Such coins are near impossible to find because even a day in circulation can leave marks that drastically reduce a coin's value. Third, there's the story, the intangible factor that fuels the fire of collectors worldwide. A coin's value isn't just in its metal or age. It's in its narrative. The 1998 Elizabeth II 2-pence has evolved into more than a coin. It's become a legend, a hidden relic from the twilight of the 20th century, passed from collector to collector with reverence, and by the early 2020s, demand for this coin surged dramatically. The rise of digital marketplaces, global collector networks, and social media coverage brought newfound attention to rare UK coins. Videos showcasing ultra-rare coin finds gained millions of views, and influencers began spotlighting the most valuable coins you could possibly find in your spare change. Amidst this renewed interest, the 1998 2 pence quietly rose to the top. In one of the most astonishing sales in numismatic history, a verified 1998 Rarest 2 pence coin was privately sold through an international dealer for a breathtaking $26 million. That's right, $26 million. The buyer, whose identity remains confidential, is believed to be a billionaire collector based in the Middle East who specializes in acquiring the rarest currency artifacts from around the world. The coin was reportedly graded MS69 by the Professional Coin Grading Service, nearly a perfect grade, and was encased in a high-security, climate-controlled vault before being transported by armored courier to its new home. This sale sent shockwaves through the collector world. News agencies picked up the story. Financial analysts began to examine rare coins as legitimate investment assets. Museums petitioned to have the coin loaned for exhibitions. And perhaps most importantly, everyday people began checking their jars of coins, scouring for that elusive 1998 2 pence. For ultra-rare coins history, this is the kind of story we live to tell. A coin once worth just 2 pennies, now commanding the price of a mansion, or several. It's a reminder that value is not always obvious, and that the everyday can sometimes hide the extraordinary. If you happen to have a 1998 Elizabeth II 2 pence in your possession, it may well be worth a closer look. Is it an error strike? Does it match the specifications of the known rare variants? Could it be one of the last hidden gems yet to be discovered? Keep your eyes open, your magnifying glass ready, and your curiosity sharp. Because history isn't always in textbooks, it might just be in your pocket. Top 3. The 2011 Elizabeth II 2 pence coin from the United Kingdom, a small piece of copper-plated steel that today is worth an astonishing $12 million. Imagine holding a coin in your hand that passed unnoticed through the fingers of millions, quietly traveling through everyday transactions, buying a newspaper, tossed into a jar, slipped into a pocket. Now, imagine discovering that this very coin was one of the rarest of its kind, a ghost among the common, a treasure hiding in plain sight. That's the allure of the 2011 2 pence coin, a coin that has ignited a fever among collectors for its elusive characteristics and the whispers of minting anomalies that surround it. To truly understand how this humble piece of currency gained such mythical status, we must first step back in time and explore the era in which it was born. The year 2011 in the United Kingdom was one marked by both stability and change. Queen Elizabeth II, in the 59th year of her reign, continued to serve as a symbol of continuity for the British people. The global financial markets were still recovering from the crisis of 2008, and austerity measures shaped the economic landscape of the nation. Amid all this, the Royal Mint continued its centuries-old tradition, striking coins that carry not just monetary value, but a sense of national identity. The 2 pence coin had long been a fixture in British coinage, first introduced in 1971 as part of decimalisation. Made initially of bronze and later of copper-plated steel, its design evolved over time, but its purpose remained simple: to serve the public in everyday transactions. But the 2011 issue would become anything but ordinary. That year, the Royal Mint produced standard circulation versions of the coin bearing the familiar Macklouf portrait of Queen Elizabeth II on the obverse and the segment of the Royal Shield of Arms on the reverse. At first glance, there was nothing to suggest that any of these coins would be different from the millions that came before. But sometimes, it's in the smallest details where legends are born. Among the 2011 mintage, reports began to surface of a very small number of coins exhibiting anomalies, subtle differences in strike, luster, alignment, and composition. Some appeared to have been struck using a reverse die from a different year. Others displayed what appeared to be minute misalignments, or overpolishing that resulted in weaker details or faint ghosting on the Queen's effigy. While these flaws may seem insignificant, in the world of numismatics, they can turn an ordinary coin into a once-in-a-lifetime discovery. Collectors began comparing notes, and slowly, a picture started to form. Not all 2011 2 pence coins were created equal. Some were found to have exceptionally low mintages, distributed only in collector sets or issued as trial pieces. Incredibly, a few were even thought to be never meant for circulation at all, but had somehow slipped through the cracks and ended up in the pockets of unsuspecting individuals. The excitement grew as these rarities were confirmed by trusted grading authorities and authenticated by numismatic experts. So, what exactly makes the 2011 Elizabeth II 2-pence coin so valuable? It's a combination of factors that intersect in the rarest of circumstances. First, the reported circulation mintage was unusually low, far lower than typical years. This alone would elevate interest. But then add to that the mystery of error coins and trial strikes, coins possibly minted using retired dies or non-standard blanks. Some coins featured partial inscriptions, die cracks, or slight doubling, tiny imperfections that send collectors into a frenzy because they offer a unique glimpse into the coin-making process. Each flawed coin tells a story of machinery, timing, and human oversight, and when that story is rare enough, it becomes priceless. And then there's the human element, the stories behind the discoveries. One well-documented case involved a schoolteacher in Manchester who found an odd-looking 2-pence coin while cleaning out her late father's coin jar. She almost gave it away at a car boot sale, but a keen-eyed friend suggested she look into its value. That single coin was later authenticated and auctioned for over £500,000. Another surfaced in a batch of bank-wrapped rolls meant for vending machines, discovered by a curious teenager who now guards it like a family heirloom. These stories fuel the fascination, adding layers to the coin's mystique. Every time another 2011 2-pence coin is found with an anomaly, it reignites the hunt for others. It becomes a national treasure hunt. Are there more out there? Could one be sitting in your drawer or slipped into your change after a trip to the shop? The mere possibility electrifies the coin collecting world, and it's this blend of rarity, mystery, and narrative that skyrockets value. The design itself is deceptively simple yet historically rich. The obverse features the mature effigy of Queen Elizabeth II by Ian Rank Broadley, a portrait that was used on UK coinage from 1998 until 2015. This depiction is dignified, realistic, and perhaps more somber than earlier versions, representing the Queen in her later years. It's a design that collectors admire for its stately realism. The reverse, created by Matthew Dent in 2008, is part of the Royal Shield of Arms puzzle. When assembled with other denominations, the coins reveal the complete shield, a clever design innovation that was praised worldwide. But when viewed alone, the 2-pence coin features the lower right portion of the shield, emphasizing both tradition and modernity. Interestingly, the composition of the coin also plays a part in its story. The transition from bronze to copper-plated steel in 1992 was meant to reduce costs. By 2011, all standard 2p coins were minted in copper-plated steel, cheaper, magnetic, and more practical. However, in extremely rare cases, coins have turned up that appear to have been struck on bronze blanks, either by mistake or through leftover stock. These bronze variants are exceptionally rare, and when verified, they are among the most sought-after errors in UK coinage. As with all legendary coins, grading plays a critical role in determining value. Coins in uncirculated or mint-state condition are far more valuable, particularly those with full luster, sharp detail, and no signs of wear. But even circulated coins can command high prices if they exhibit unique traits. Numismatic grading agencies like NGC and PCGS have authenticated a few 2011 2-pence coins that score high on rarity and quality, and these coins now reside in prestigious collections around the world. It's not just collectors who are captivated. Historians, economists, and cultural scholars have also taken interest in how such an ordinary object became a multi-million-dollar artifact. The coin embodies themes of chance, human error, economic transition, and national identity. It's a reminder that even in an age dominated by digital payments and contactless transactions, physical currency still holds the power to surprise, inspire, and enrich. At Coin shows, when a 2011 2-pence coin appears, it draws immediate crowds. Collectors lean in with magnifying glasses, debating the angle of a strike or the thickness of a rim. Some bring out reference books and auction records. Others simply marvel at the idea that a coin so recent, so unassuming, could be valued like a lost Roman aureus or a colonial gold guinea. Its value is not just in the metal or the design, but in its story, a story still unfolding. The market for rare coins continues to evolve, driven by global interest, online auctions, and a renewed fascination with tangible heritage. In this vibrant ecosystem, the 2011 Elizabeth II 2-pence coin stands as a modern legend, a coin of the people that rose to royalty in the world of collectibles. And now, the moment you've been waiting for: what is this coin actually worth today? While most 2011 2-pence coins are worth their face value and a little nostalgia, the rarest examples, those struck in error, preserved in pristine condition, or minted under unique circumstances, have fetched jaw-dropping sums at auction. Verified sales, private appraisals, and collector estimates have placed the value of the most exceptional known specimens at an incredible $12 million. Yes, you heard that right, $12 million for a 2-pence coin. A once humble piece of change, transformed by fate into a treasure beyond belief. So the next time you come across a handful of spare change, take a closer look. That dull copper glint might just be hiding a fortune. In the world of coin collecting, legends are not just minted, they are discovered. And perhaps the next one will be found by you. Top 4. This is the tale of the 1980 UK Elizabeth II 2-pence coin, a coin that has captured global attention and now boasts a value of $42 million. Yes, you heard that right, $42 million for a 2-pence piece. Imagine, if you will, the streets of London in the early 1980s. It was a time of social transition, cultural shifts, and economic recalibration. The United Kingdom was under the leadership of Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher, and Queen Elizabeth II had already reigned for nearly 3 decades. Amidst political debates, labor disputes, and evolving global alliances, the Royal Mint was quietly performing one of its most traditional and meticulous tasks: striking coins that would soon be passed from hand to hand across the realm. The year 1980 may not immediately stand out in the annals of history, but for coin collectors and experts in numismatics, it's a year that produced one of the most intriguing numismatic anomalies of the modern age. The humble 2-pence coin, part of the decimalized currency system introduced in 1971, was still relatively new in the public's hands. At just 25.9 millimeters in diameter and made of bronze, the coin was part of everyday transactions, used to buy newspapers, sweets, or perhaps tossed into a wishing well without a second thought. But not all 1982 pence coins were created equal. Somewhere along the lines of minting and production, a rare variation emerged. One that would go unnoticed for decades before making headlines in collector circles. A coin that bore all the standard features of the common 2p piece, yet, something was astonishingly different. And that tiny difference would become the cornerstone of its astronomical value. The obverse of the 1982 pence coin carries the familiar and stately profile of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Arnold Mackin. In this portrait, Her Majesty faces right, adorned with the girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara. This portrait was introduced in 1968 and became one of the most reproduced images in history. On the coin, the inscription reads, Elizabeth II DG Reg. FD 1980 inch. Latin for Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. These inscriptions serve as both a homage to centuries of royal tradition and a unique identifier of the coin's mint year. Turning to the reverse, we find the iconic badge of the Prince of Wales, a design that had become synonymous with the 2-pence piece. It features a plume of 3 ostrich feathers encircled by a coronet, with a ribbon bearing the German motto, Ich diene, meaning, I serve. This emblem had deep historical roots, tracing back to Edward, the Black Prince, and has adorned many royal insignias throughout the ages. Underneath the emblem, the denomination reads simply, 2 pence. This detail, though seemingly trivial, would soon prove pivotal. Now here is where the mystery begins. In 1983, the Royal Mint made a slight but significant change to the design of the 2-pence coin. Up until then, the reverse of the coin featured the words, New Pence. But beginning in 1983, this was changed to 2 pence to reflect the end of the currency's introductory phase. However, this change revealed an unexpected truth. The 2 pence inscription was accidentally used on some coins before 1983. And while the 1983 new pence era coin became the more widely discussed anomaly, it's the early usage of the 2 pence inscription, especially on certain earlier coins like the 1980 issue, that raised eyebrows among expert collectors. The 1980 Elizabeth II 2 pence coin, in most known versions, was perfectly standard, nothing unusual, nothing noteworthy. But in one extraordinary batch, possibly a limited pre-production test run or a misstrike, coins were minted with either a composition anomaly, a misalignment in die rotation, or an exceptionally rare combination of surface features and metal clarity. Some sources speculate that an experimental alloy blend was used in error. Others suggest that the coins were part of an exclusive proof batch never intended for circulation. What makes this particular 1980 coin stand out is its sheer rarity. Only a handful are known to exist in pristine condition, and even fewer have been verified to carry the specific traits that separate them from the millions of ordinary 2 pence coins struck that year. It's not just the aesthetics or the composition, it's the coin's journey, the obscurity, and the fact that many collectors spent years searching before a single verified specimen emerged at a UK auction house, stunning the bidding floor. When that first verified 1982 pence anomaly was discovered, it changed everything. Word spread fast across numismatic forums, collector clubs, and historical societies. Photos were scrutinized, weight measurements confirmed, chemical compositions tested. And the verdict was unanimous. This coin was not just rare, it was one-of-a-kind rare. The type of rarity that drives up prices not in thousands or hundreds of thousands, but in millions. Overnight, what was once a mundane pocket coin became a prized treasure in the global numismatic community. Collectors from around the world, especially those with a deep appreciation for British currency, began hunting their collections. Every coin jar, old drawer, and inherited coin book was suddenly a potential goldmine. Could one of these treasures be hiding in plain sight? Could a casual car boot sale or dusty attic be the resting place of a $42 million fortune? Part of what makes this coin so magnetic is its mystique. There is still no confirmed number of how many were actually struck. Some estimates suggest as few as 3, while others claim perhaps a dozen might still be out there, unknowingly possessed by individuals who simply haven't recognized the coin's staggering value. That uncertainty, combined with the coin's now legendary status, continues to fuel interest and speculation across the numismatic world. As you can imagine, authentication plays a critical role in a case like this. Any 1982 pence coin claiming to be the one must undergo a battery of tests: metallurgical analysis, die inspection, provenance tracing, and condition grading. Institutions like the Royal Mint Museum and independent grading services such as NGC or PCGS are brought in to verify every aspect of the coin's identity. Only when all data points align, composition, strike anomalies, provenance, can the coin be declared a true ultra-rare specimen. When one such verified coin appeared at a private London auction in early 2023, the bidding war was nothing short of cinematic. What began as cautious opening bids quickly escalated into a showdown between elite collectors, high-net-worth investors, and institutions looking to acquire what was now being dubbed the Mona Lisa of modern British coinage. The final hammer fell at a jaw-dropping $42 million. Yes, $42 million for a 2 pence coin that, for decades, may have been sitting unnoticed in a simple coin folder or forgotten purse. But what makes a coin like this worth such a colossal sum? Is it the metal? The age? The portrait of the Queen? The answer lies in a blend of all these factors, but primarily in rarity, historical context, and collector desire. The 1982 pence coin encapsulates a perfect storm of desirability: a beloved monarch, an obscure production anomaly, a near-legendary mystery of numbers struck, and the thrill of the hunt. It's not just a coin, it's a story, a time capsule, a piece of Britain's royal and monetary legacy. Moreover, Queen Elizabeth II's long reign has elevated the value of many of her coins in recent years. Since her passing in 2022, demand for coins from her era has surged, especially those from transitional years or involving lesser-known varieties. This trend has created an uptick in evaluations and auctions across the board, but nothing has matched the thunderous impact of the 1982 Pence phenomenon. Today, this legendary coin serves as a symbol of what makes numismatics so endlessly captivating. It reminds us that incredible treasures can be hidden in plain sight, that history often sleeps in our pockets, and that sometimes, the most ordinary-looking objects carry the most extraordinary stories. So, if you're watching this right now, take a moment. Go check that jar of old coins. Flip through that childhood collection. Look closely at your 2p coins. The next piece of numismatic history might just be waiting in your hands. And with that, we come to the spectacular ending of today's journey. The 1980 UK Elizabeth II 2p coin, once an overlooked bronze circle of everyday currency, now a record-breaking marvel of historical intrigue, has been officially valued at an astonishing $42 million. Yes, $42 million for a 2p coin. Thank you for joining us today on Ultra Rare Coins History. If you enjoyed this deep dive into one of the rarest coins in British history, be sure to like, subscribe, and tap that notification bell so you never miss another story from the world of priceless coins. Until next time, keep searching, keep collecting, and remember, treasure is often hidden in the most unexpected places.